How's it going, everybody? It's me, Waddles. I hope you're doing well. Today, I'd like to take a look at this year's Minecon Biome Chooser fan vote. This year at Minecon, we as a community get to pick which biome out of 3 up for picking we would love to see improved. The 3 biomes that we can choose from are the taiga biome, the savanna biome, and the desert biome. In case you're out of the loop on all of this, I will link the original tweet down below, and I recommend that you follow Minecraft on Twitter for more updates on this. And I mean, while you're over there, you should follow me too. As of the recording of this video, there hasn't been much more information released other than what's going on, but I'm sure in the coming days there will be more information. So based on the info that we have right now, as of today, I'd like to make a video talking about which biome I think deserves the revamp the most, and also why I wouldn't be picking the other 2 biomes. Of course, this is all just my opinion though. What biome do you want to see redone? Tell me down below. In this video, I'll be going over the biomes from least favorite to favorite. Starting off on this list is the taiga biome. The taiga biome is the last biome that I would choose for a biome update. So in my opinion, the taiga biome is kind of similar to the forest biome and also the plains biome. Now of course the plains biome doesn't have trees and the forest biome doesn't have spruce trees. However, the taiga is really just a spruce forest. I will admit this biome is very repetitive and kind of boring, not too fun to be in. However, with this biome being in my head similar to the other 2 biomes I just mentioned, I feel as if updating the taiga biome would cause the other 2 biomes to feel a little behind now. The other 2 biomes that I keep mentioning have also been in the game much longer, but we'll get to that argument a little later on in the video. The taiga already does have a direct variant as well, and when I say direct variant, I'm not talking about taiga hills or something like that. I am talking about the cold taiga, the version of the taiga biome with snow all over it. When I tried to imagine what the developers would do with the taiga biome, I could really only envision some more wildlife and maybe another tree variant and some more plants, but the trees and plants I could see in each of these biomes, and more wildlife doesn't personally interest me a lot. I do like more life in the game, but it has to be useful life. No offense, polar bears. So that is pretty much why taiga is my least favorite. Moving on to the middle biome. Now this biome is a pretty close middle, meaning I could definitely switch positions on this and this biome could become my favorite pick depending on what information Mojang releases this next week. I am talking about the savanna biome. Now, I think there is a lot of potential for animals when we talk about the savanna biome. There are so many cool real-world animals that live in the savanna. However, seeing these animals like elephants and rhinos and giraffes might be really awesome. However, I do feel as if Mojang wouldn't be adding in any endangered species necessarily under the guise of not wanting to give people the wrong idea and make people kill them. Kind of like I think they said about the shark a while back. I think it was the shark. Also, if these animals were added in, like say a rhino or something, I'm sure Mojang would not have players kill the rhino to use its horn for something because that's just kind of cruel when we think about the issues in the real world. We also, in my opinion, don't really need a lot more random animals. Sure, the llama is cool, the polar bear is cool, parrots are very nice, but they don't really do all that much, right? Like, I just don't think we need more animals in the game that don't do too much. Now, if Mojang was going to, say, make some of these animals a better food choice, or maybe some new armor or items or decorations, maybe that could be cool, but again, all of that loops back to the whole endangered species kind of cruel thing. And it would also not be in line with what they have said previously, but that's fine if they break what they've said before, that's cool. So aside from the animals are tree variants and plant variants, but like I said, I could imagine that in each biome, and no matter what biome gets chosen, if there is more plants and trees, I will be very happy. So that's the savanna, that's my runner-up. The animals would be cool, I just don't see it as being necessary or even probably a real thing. And so, my favorite biome that I would love to see improved is, of course, obviously, the desert biome. I absolutely love the idea of improving the desert biome, making it cooler, and I just imagine so many cool potentials here. A big reason the desert is the first biome that I would be improving is because it's been in line the longest. What I mean by this is that the desert has been in the game for so long, and it's been essentially the same thing for so long. I know a lot of longer-term fans and players like myself would love to see an old biome get a facelift. The desert does seem to be a pretty common biome as well. Hopefully, I have experienced those worlds where there's no desert, and that's definitely frustrating. However, it's a common biome, usually, and that would mean the players would see the facelift directly. Alongside the facelift argument, the desert is really repetitive, as I talked about in yesterday's video. There's not much to look at or really do in the desert, which is similar to the real world. However, it's just so repetitive. Maybe the most repetitive biome in Minecraft now that the oceans have been improved? I don't know. So what could I see happen with an improvement of the desert? Well, there's a whole lot of things that I could imagine. First off, a bunch of dead variants of plants, and maybe even trees. On the surface, that doesn't sound so cool, and saying it out loud kind of sounds goofy. However, that would be really nice to see. Now, what I'm talking about is maybe a dead rose bush, or maybe a dead tree that generates in the world. Maybe there are some different leaves. Maybe this is a whole different type of tree. On the different tree argument, maybe Mojang could implement palm trees along beaches in the desert, or even in oases. Is it oases? That sounds so weird. Perhaps these dead plants could be used as a fuel source or really just decoration. This one is more of a stretch, but I think it would be totally awesome to see a pyramid, a massive structure similar to an ocean monument, implemented into the game. Perhaps this pyramid is partially submerged like those in Terraria, just to kind of better fit into the world. Now, maybe these pyramids, similar to an ocean monument, have enemies that are tied to their location in the world that will spawn inside of them. These would be new enemies, maybe a mummy. Maybe there's some cool loot inside of these pyramids, and possibly even a new boss. On the note of pyramids, there is a whole ton of very interesting and cool Egyptian lore, and if you've never looked into that stuff, you should look into it in your free time. Now I can hear the argument now. Waddles, what do you mean? You want people to break into pyramids but not kill wild animals? And I think it's going to be pretty hard to break into a pyramid in real life. To my understanding, they're pretty heavily guarded, and yeah. Deserts are pretty hostile environments, and in Minecraft, that's really just not the case. Perhaps Mojang could go ahead and add in some more hostile creatures, or even animals that just spawn in the desert that will go after you on sight. That might be kind of cool. And I believe that those animals would kind of have a purpose. They would be making the desert a whole lot more difficult to survive in. And finally, the other cool thing that excites me about the idea of a desert improvement is the possibility of another sand variant. If Mojang went ahead and even just added in different sand variants to improve the desert, I would be happy. Sand is a really nice looking block in my opinion. I like the texture, and if there were different shades of it, that might be something that would be really helpful when building and setting up paths and that type of thing. That's that. I would love to see the desert improved, and I will be voting for the desert biome, at least as of the making of this video, in this Minecon fan vote. What do you think? Do you want to see a brand new and improved desert biome? If you do, make sure you vote for it. If not, which biome would you choose and why? Now, I'm sure Mojang will be releasing more updates this next week, and those updates could completely change my opinion. Who knows? They may even completely invalidate the things that I'm talking about in this video, but I hope not. But you never know. So that's what I'm thinking right now. Maybe I'll make an update if that changes. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like and subscribe. That helps me out. If you really loved the video and you want to support me directly, I do have a Patreon. There are cool rewards laid out on that site. And then go have a good day. My name is Waddles. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, everybody.